Hi guys, it's Carol from Cape Cod Cottage Garden. It's early June and I'm looking at my ranunculus and I'm looking pretty sad. There's a few blooms here and there, but they're pretty much done. So I'm going to pull these up today and make room in my garden. I still have some plants that have to go in here, so this is the day to do it. Come along. So most of the ranunculus here have either turned yellow or gone away altogether completely. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pull them up. It's as easy as that. Shake off as much of the dirt as I can. I did a couple of these already, and what I noticed is that the corms are nice and big. They're much bigger than when I purchased them. I guess it was last winter, and I really did enjoy the ranunculus. I mean, if I knew I could take them out this early, I probably would have planted more. I didn't want to take up my garden space, but it's early June. It's plenty of time to plant something else here. So I can't really show you how plump they are because they're covered in dirt, but after I pull them all up, I'll rinse them with water and I'll show you. But you can kind of get an idea. I'll try to link the video of when I planted these, and these things, I know that they're all hydrated now, so they're bigger, but even after I hydrated them, they were not this big. They were literally like this big. So yeah, so let me pull all these up. I'm just gonna put them in this little container for now, then I'll rinse them and I'll show you. In the back, you can see I still have an anemone. They're doing pretty good still. I think I might leave them. They're starting to yellow, so maybe next week I'll pull those out. And I blew perm in the back and Lysianthus. In the front along here, you can't really see, but I'll show you after. I planted some radishes because I had a little room on the edge, but I really need this garden space, so let me pull all these up. So what I'm noticing is if the plant is all the way brown, you can kind of just pull it up. Now it's gonna make a Larry on me. Here we go. Like this. You can just kind of pull it out of the ground and shake off the dirt. But if it still has some green on it, it's a little stronger, so you have to use a spade or something and pull it up. So like this one, for instance, it's a little bit green, so I'm just going to kind of dig around far enough away so I don't damage the corm and pop it up like that. Shake off the dirt. And a few things about the ranunculus. This is the first year I really grew them successfully. I grew them another year and I only got like 1 or 2 blooms. It wasn't so great. As a matter of fact, they did start to come up for the 3rd year, but then we got a super late frost, like a really, really deep freeze, and I think that the corms did not survive. I had left them in the ground and they did come back 1 year, but the 2nd year they didn't. So anyways, so what do I think about the ranunculus? They're fussy. You know how Grain calls them the ridiculous ranunculus? I think they are kind of ridiculous, but they're gorgeous. It was kind of nice to have those early spring bouquets in my kitchen when it was still like really cold, but I had these gorgeous flowers. I mean, these have passed a little bit, and they're kind of on the small side, but they were just stunning to have in the house. So I really did enjoy them. So I think that I am going to save these corms and do it again next year, especially now that I know I can take them out this early and use this garden space. But if you want to use these like for like selling, making bouquets, you'd have to plant hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. So every time I had enough that I could actually put in a vase, I only had like a handful of them. I think I planted, gosh, I'll have to refer to my old video, but I can't remember. But I feel like I planted maybe at least 60, if not more. I can't remember. And that just wasn't enough to have like big bouquets. So if you really want those big, huge bouquets of flowers in the spring, you're gonna have to plant hundreds. So there is that. And you guys all know how I planted my anemones upside down, but they still came up. They came up a little wonky, but they still came up. I will try to dig those up and save those too, I think, because I really, really enjoyed those flowers. Guys, but look at the roots this thing put out. Look at it. It's pretty nice, right? Okay, so I'm going to continue pulling all these out, and then I'll come back when I'm done. Okay, guys, here's the bucket of ranunculus. And I have this little tray here. I'm just going to fill it with water and like rinse them as I go. But one little tip that I learned about ranunculus, if you plant them in rows like this, you can kind of guesstimate where the corms will be. In some parts of my garden, there was no greening whatsoever. There was nothing showing above ground. But I knew I planted them, 4 to 6 inches apart. So I just dug in that area and I found them all. Ugh, aphids in here. Goodbye. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this with water. Okay, now I'm going to snip off the greens. This one still had a little bit of blooms on it, but I had to get rid of them all now because I need the space. So I'm going to snip off the greens and stick them in the water. Try to rinse them off. And what I noticed, a lot of them had multiple corms. Like these look like there's two here. I could separate these. Just do it very carefully because they break easy. This one has a lot of roots, so I think I'm gonna wait on separating this because it was really fresh still. Let me find it more dry. This one's fresh too. I wanna show you how big these are. Look at them. They're like probably 3 times, 4 times, 5 times the size they were when I planted them. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the rest of these and then I'll show you what I'm doing. Wow guys, I'm looking at my camera. I'm a hot mess. This is not glamorous gardening, not at all. So anyway, so here are the ranunculus after I rinse them off. They look like that. Look at them all. A lot of them, you can easily see where you can separate them to get 2 corms, like this one right here. I mean, it just gently pull them apart. And there actually might even be 3. Let me see. Yep, 3. Here's another one, let me show you. You can kind of see there's like 1 there and 1 there. And you just, I recommend doing this after you take the dirt off because these are pretty fragile. You can break off the little legs. This one looks a little more complex. I think there's 3 corms here, but they're so tightly wound together. I'm a little afraid to try to separate them. Oh, see, I think I just broke one, but there's 1. And then there's maybe 2 here. Let me see. Yep, look. So there was 3 in that little bunch. And I have 1 more. This looks like there's 2. Because you can kind of see there's like a little cap there and a little cap there, and you can just kind of, they're so tightly woven together, sometimes you break them. So, there you go. But I've been told that the size of the corm doesn't matter in the flower they produce. So, I mean, I'm not going to worry about, I'm going to save every little last one I have and plant it up next spring. So, or next late winter, I guess. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to, Jerry! Now I have to edit all that out. And I cursed too. Oh my gosh.
Leave that in there.
No, I can't. It's a curse word. Oh my God. My brother-in-law drives me crazy. What was I saying? I completely lost my train of thought. So now I'm just gonna let these dry off because I don't want to put them away wet because they could get moldy. So I'm just gonna kind of spread them out on this tray, not on this black tray. I think I'm just gonna spread them out on my table over there and let them dry out. And then I'll put them in like a brown paper bag and put them in a cool, dark place and see how they look next winter. So I have my ranunculus on a tray right here. It's in the shade. I'm just gonna let them dry out and then I'll put them in a brown bag in a cool, dry place. And I'll have my brother-in-law get out of my yard. I just thought I'd end the video with this pretty view in front of my garden shed. I have delphiniums and snapdragons, hosta, rose campion. This is a butterfly weed that's just growing. Bachelor buttons, Roxanne geranium, some zinnias, and some. These are the daylilies that I grew from seed. And this year they are gonna bloom. Look at that. And I have some liatris and some celosia that I just put in the other day. This is a weeping pussy willow. And I have some alliums, some echinacea that I started from seed that's starting to flower, scabiosa, and in the background you can see that beautiful lace cap hydrangea. Sorry about my hose link. And the beautiful drift roses. And as you can see, I have a couple of big things of right there and right there of milkweed for the monarchs. I just let it go. Especially when it's in the garden like this, I just let it go. If it's on the edge or in my grass, I pull it out, but I let it go. So this is the perennial birds. In the back there, you can see my irises are still having a show, and there's some foxglove back there. And my roses are coming back. But I think I'm gonna move them. So that's it. Gosh, I am a hot mess. It's really hot here today. So it'll be interesting to see if those ranunculus blooms are bigger next year, because it will be like the second year they'll be in the ground. We'll see. So I have a bunch of other stuff to plant. I am so far behind on videos, guys. I videoed everything I did almost, and I haven't uploaded anything. But anyways, I hope I can edit out that little part where my brother-in-law scared me. That was crazy. He's like my 5th child, I'm telling you. Oh gosh. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying your gardens, and until next time, get out there and grow. Bye!